I'm going to unbox the Canon XA30. Here's the Canon XA30. In this video, I'm going to talk about the differences and similarities to the XA20, because if you're in the market for a camcorder like this and you don't know whether to buy the XA20, the old model, or the XA30, the brand new model, this video will hopefully help you decide which one to buy. The differences between the XA30 and the XA20 are incredibly minimal. The bodies are identical. What looks different right now is that I took out the eyepiece on my XA20. So the XA20 does come with an eye cup that's on the XA30. I just removed mine because I don't like using it. It gets in the way. You can take off the XLR handle on the XA20 and pop it on the XA30 and vice versa, and they work the same way. Okay, let's go into the menu. In the menu, exactly the same as the XA20. I cannot find, there might be some differences in some of these menu options, but I haven't been able to see it right off the bat. So menu system, exactly the same as the XA20. So where are the differences between the XA30 and the XA20? The differences, the big difference, is that there supposedly is a different sensor in this camera. It's slightly bigger. And what that does is, I believe the new sensor increased the low light sensitivity of this camera by plus 3 dBs of gain. And it is better, slightly, marginally better in low light than the XA20. You could adjust some color, sharpness, and contrast in the old model, but that's all you could do. There are no picture profiles. So I go to Function, scroll all the way down to Image Effects. In Image Effects, which is an odd place to put this feature, you hit On, you turn in the Image Effects on, and then you can go into Looks. When you go into Looks, you have the standard, and you have two new ones, which is Highlight Priority and YDR. YDR is a picture profile that the XF200 has. The C100 and the C100 Mark II has YDR. When YDR comes on, it automatically starts at 6 dB. You cannot go lower than 6 dB. When I was shooting in YDR in low light, something that really bothered me was the noise that showed up in the shadows. A lot of noise. Noise that doesn't look like film grain. It's noise that looks like digital fuzz, where the colors, in particular, I was shooting this blue beanie. The shadows in the blue beanie were glowing and were fuzzy, and the colors were muted and washed out, and which is all typical things that happen when you shoot in very low light and you up the gain. But when I was shooting in YDR, it didn't look like it was artistic. It didn't look like it was a limiting of the sensor. It looked like it was a problem with the firmware or whatever is processing the shadow detail in my beanie and in some other dark shadows. And I also noticed that there's a color difference in these sensors. This one, the XA20 is more of a green cast, and the XA30 seems to be more red. But the blues look pretty bad in low light with this camcorder. Now, when you switch to the standard picture profile, I don't see it as much, but the YDR, which is the reason why you would want this camera, didn't look good. Now, this might be a firmware update fix, or this might be because I have a lemon, but that really bothered me, and it's kind of preventing me right now whether or not I should go with the XA30. Now, if you do not have the XA20 and you want to buy this kind of camcorder for the very first time, obviously I recommend getting the XA30, and with the 3+ dB of gain and some other features you get with the XA30, it's worth it if you're buying this camera model for the first time. However, if you already own an XA20, really think about if you need an XA30. Do you really need that plus 3 dBs of gain in low light?